Hi all and welcome back. I'm Kristen with Unstoppable Outside. It has been a drizzly Friday morning, but it's starting to clear up a little bit, and we want to take the advantage of these fall colors to get out in nature.
If you enjoy these kind of adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're notified when I post my next trip. This weekend started off with no plans at all, but when the weather cleared, we decided to be spontaneous and head to the Olympic Peninsula. For this weekend, I had looked up a few options, either car camping near a hot springs resort or a backpacking trip to some hot springs deep in Olympic National Park. So I packed enough food and gear for at least one night to keep both options open. Since it's officially fall and rain was in the forecast, I made sure to bring all of my rain layers this time. I was kicking myself on our recent national parks road trip for not being prepared for wet weather, which you can check out on my channel if you haven't seen it yet. To get to the peninsula from Seattle, we took the Vashon to Southworth ferry with a quick layover on Vashon Island. The ferry is always a nice treat in its own way. From there, we drove a counterclockwise route, heading north and northwest to the Sol Duc entrance of Olympic National Park, where we stayed Friday night. On Saturday, we continued south to explore the Hoh Rainforest, and since we were already near the coast, we decided to keep going all the way to Ocean Shores, where we spent Saturday night. By Sunday, we'd completed a full loop of the Olympic Peninsula, about 450 miles in total, a spontaneous weekend that turned into a full-on road trip.
So we've made the decision that we are going to go to the Sol Duc Hot Spring Resort and Campground, and we're going to just set up with a tent at the campground tonight, simple car camping style, with getting out here late and it being at least a 10-mile hike in to the natural hot springs. We wouldn't be getting out there till 9 or 10 p.m. at the current rate of just not being able to get out of town until after I was done working, and then just how long it takes to get out here. We're gonna try to get to the hot springs for their 6 p.m. session tonight, and they also have a restaurant out there, so we'll probably have dinner out there and have a little bit more of a leisurely evening than a massive backpacking adventure in.
We're driving by Lake Crescent, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
After we figured out how the system worked for the first come first served basis, we came back to Loop A and selected Site 10. It's just down the hill from here. We're going to take 10 minutes, set up the tent real quick, and then run over to the hot springs to see if we can get in for the last session that goes from 6 to 7:30. The Sol Duc Hot Springs Resort Campground is located in Olympic National Park and a short distance from the actual hot springs resort. Normally, you would want to book a reservation in advance, and you can start looking 6 months out from the date you want to stay via recreation.gov. As this was a spontaneous trip, when I went to recreation.gov, there was only a first-come, first-served sites available. When we arrived, the sign with each campsite's availability was a little confusing to me, and it seemed that only one walk-in site was available that night, as nothing was covering that number. It turns out that each site number was covered in a little sign that said reserved tonight or reserved tomorrow. And with that knowledge, I knew we could then pick any site that was reserved tomorrow, meaning it was free that night. Clear as mud, right?
Okay, that took us 10 minutes. Now it's time for the hot springs. We'll still get at least an hour.
Hot springs.
Springs were really nice and dinner was delicious. So we just got back to the campsite and it's super dark. We're gonna get the sleeping pads and get the sleeping quilts all set up, and John's gonna start working on a fire, and we're gonna do some s'mores. The market here as part of the hot springs had firewood, marshmallows, beverages, snacks, so really nice setup. Really enjoyed finding this spot, and we definitely will be coming back.
All else failed, use matches. A shitload of matches. Got something going here. Thanks to Kristen and a box of matches.
Teamwork, man.
Teamwork.
You don't have an axe. Knife, sharp knife, and then another stick of wood.
Want to do it?
Yeah. So.
Find the edge. The triangle, the point. So you just put it right there. Like that. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Boom. Now just turn it.
Find another
Find
triangle.
that triangle point. There you go. Right in the center of the back of the knife. Drop for your finger. Okay, now do the tip. Just don't crack the tip. There you go.
Nice.
Got a marshmallow skewer.
Okay. Well, now we have a place to sit. Strong man over here. We're checking out the Sol Duc River in the morning. There's also a waterfall. And then from there, we'll head on to the Hoh Rainforest. So looking forward to it. See you in the morning.
Good morning. We didn't sleep amazing, but the mattresses were comfy. The quilts were warm enough. The R value on the air mattresses definitely needs to be a little bit better. Time for some coffee, and then we're going to explore this area, go walk over, do a short hike to the waterfall, and then pick a few spots on the Sol Duc River to stop and see what's fishing.
So this is the same sleep system that we used up in the enchantments. We've got the 2 air mattresses underneath us. As we talked about, we need to upgrade for the R value. There is this double wide sheet that did have some options to pin it down, but we both ended up getting out of it because it was a little too snug. I put my 10-degree sleeping quilt with one strap down, and that's wide enough to go completely over us. And then this is the double quilt that has straps and also the foot box that goes over the end of the air mattress here.
Definitely a little chillier. Time for mittens with my coffee.
Just had a nice breakfast, and now we're going to walk that off doing the about just under 2-mile out and back hike to the Sol Duc waterfall. That was a nice little walk. The waterfall was really cool. And now we're going to go back towards the highway, but make a few stops at the Sol Duc that we saw when you were coming in, and see if there's any little deep spots that some fish might be lurking in. And
Deep holes in the river.
so we're in Olympic National Park, and the fishing regulations here do not require you to have like a Washington State fishing license, despite we're in Washington. So every national park has its own rules. Olympic National Park is split up into different zones for fishing. So, for example, Lake Crescent is only catch and release, but the rivers here, you can catch 2 steelhead hatchery fish that have their adipose fins clipped, and keep 2 of those, but everything else is catch and release. We're gonna stop at the Salmon Cascades There's no fishing here on the Sol Duc, just on either direction, about 150, 200 feet on each side of this section. But we're going to check it out. So with it being the fall, the salmon are running up the rivers to lay their eggs. So we can see some salmon in the clear water here below the falls. So we're going to go check that out. There's one kind of stand out, but then there's a ton right behind there. They're all starting to get up the energy to work their way up this cascade. So we did a little fishing on the Sol Duc. There were definitely salmon, but they are spawning, and that's not what we wanted to catch. We wanted to get some steelhead, and that weather finally came in. So we're gonna head down to the Hoh Rainforest. We've got plenty of rain gear, and there's a couple really nice little nature hikes there through the rainforest. So want to go down and do that, and then I think from there we're gonna head down to the coast. The 101 takes you along the ocean, and we will probably head to Ocean Shores. I'm on my phone right now looking for some lodging options. There are camp spots, but with how rainy it is, might spring for something a little bit drier. But that's the beauty of just being spontaneous and rolling with whatever happens, and definitely something that we're gotten pretty good at over the years. So I just pulled over by the Hoh River. It's raining pretty good, so I'm gonna get some layers on.
For rain gear, I rely on my Outdoor Research Men's Furio hardshell jacket and Men's Trailbreaker 2 pants. So apparently I like the men's cut better for Outdoor Research.
All right, let's go. I just hooked up John with my hard shell rain pants. They're by Marmot. I actually bought them over in Europe, but they fully zip all the way down both sides. So you can completely detach them if needed, but it makes it really easy to put them on over pants and shoes without having to completely disrobe. And now you're waterproof.
There's one right there again.
Yeah? Did he jump, or are you seeing him under the water?
They're on top.
I tell you what, layers and having the right layers make all the difference. Rain jacket over my puffy jacket, over my layers, plus soft shell pants. I'm good. I only have my gloves on right now, and I'm actually doing all right. And then rain jackets for John and rain pants. Makes this really tolerable. My truck looks good against all these fall colors. Well, it wouldn't be the Hoh Rainforest if it weren't dumping rain, I guess. So this is the 0.8 mile loop Hall of Mosses.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. The rainforest of North America.
Ascending the spake, beginning the 3/4 mile loop, you climb to a higher river terrace and are now entering an older part of the forest. Here there is a primeval spirit, moldering logs, trunks shaggy with moss, and giant trees that seem old as earth.
Covered in moss from head to toe.
Very shaky.
If I was a squirrel, this is where I would want to live. This is like the mansions.
We're wet. So I was just walking along the riverbank here and found a piece of terminated crystal. Super cool. It's almost as big, it's about as big as some of the bigger pieces we got at the crystal mine in Nevada. That's rad. All right, keep looking. Well, it's about 5 o'clock and it's a 2-hour drive to Ocean Shores. We've booked a hotel at the Lighthouse Inn and going to stay cozy and warm there tonight and wake up to the beach. I think it's still going to be raining, but that's okay. It's kind of standard Washington fall weather now.
As we left the Hoh Rainforest, we spotted the Roosevelt Elk herd, which is the largest wild herd in North America. You have a high chance of seeing them if you visit the Hoh River Valley.
Running out fuel.
Wouldn't be a proper road trip without the gas light coming on. 26 miles in the tank and about 24 miles to the next gas station. You got this. 1 mile left. And not quite to the gas station yet, but we're gonna make it. Whew, made it. Just pulled into the gas station. Excuse me. He's the driver. There we are. 213. Nice.
Yeah, we just rented a house.
It's bigger than our apartment, practically. Not a bad view to wake up to. We're at Ocean Shores and it is windy. We had that storm last night. We didn't get any thunder and lightning, but it was dumping rain. We're gonna do a little beach combing. I want to find a full sand dollar. Oh, jellyfish. Part of a sand dollar, yep. Nice. They're out here. I think we found another one. Yes, that's another whole one. All right, here comes the water. Yeah, four Thomas.
5.
We just found this in the sand and it's like an old glass bobber. We're gonna take it home and clean it up. It's super rad.
So I just looked up online more about this glass float, and it's a Japanese glass rolling pin float, and it's called a ukadama in Japanese. And these were started to be created in the 1910s and mass produced in the 1920s, but they continued to make them through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But being that it's 2025, and even worst case, this was made in like 1980, that means this glass float is 45 years old and is older than me, and it's traveled across the ocean from Japan and landed on the beach here at Ocean Shores, Washington. So that is really rad.
Thanks for joining John and I on this spontaneous road trip to the Olympic Peninsula. Stay tuned for next week, where I'll be posting some planning and research videos as we have some downtime between the really wet weather coming in. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep seeing more.